Welcome to the Discussing YouTube Features podcast. Each episode, we dive in on one of YouTube's creator features, dissect it, and let you know all that you need to know, and hopefully help you learn these features intimately and help you grow your channel. Let's join George and today's guest for more.
All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into YouTube communities. We're going to cover everything you need to know about this feature, how it works, what you can do with it, and why it even matters in the YouTube world. I'm excited to learn along with you guys, and lucky for us, we have an expert here to guide us.
Yeah.
Ready to jump in?
Let's do it. YouTube Communities is all about adding a layer of interaction that goes beyond just comments on individual videos. Think of it like a creator setting up their own little forum or social media feed right on their YouTube channel.
Okay, so rather than just leaving a comment that might get buried under hundreds of others, I can head to this dedicated community tab and really engage with the creator and other fans. I like that.
Exactly. And remember, this is all happening within the YouTube mobile app. You won't find this feature on the desktop version of YouTube, at least not yet. It seems like they're really focusing on creating a space for more immediate on-the-go conversations and connections.
Yeah, I could see how that fits with how people are using their phones these days. So I'm scrolling through my favorite creator's channel on the app, and I see this community tab. What's the first thing I should know if I want to participate?
Well, first, make sure you can actually see the community tab. Some creators haven't enabled the feature yet, and sometimes there are subscriber requirements. You might need to have been subscribed for a certain length of time before you can join the fun.
So it's possible it's there, but I just can't see it yet. Makes sense. But assuming I do have access, what can I actually DO in the YouTube community? It's not just reading posts, right?
Absolutely not. You can create your own posts just by tapping that familiar "what's on your mind" prompt. And it's not just typing out a quick message. You can actually add images, create polls to spark discussion, and even share video links. It's meant to be dynamic and interactive.
I'm already thinking about how I'd use that as a fan. You could share fan art, get opinions on a creator's next video topic, or even connect with other fans to create something collaborative. That's a whole new way to express your fandom.
Exactly. It really does open up a lot of possibilities for fans to express themselves and become more active participants in a creator's world. And just like any other social platform, you have the control to delete your own posts if you change your mind. Just tap the three-dot menu on your post and select Delete.
Okay, good to know I have that option. But what if I see someone else's post that's inappropriate or just plain mean? Can I get rid of that?
Unfortunately, you can only delete your own posts. If you see something that violates YouTube's community guidelines, you can always report it. And if a post suddenly vanishes and you didn't delete it, chances are the creator, a moderator, or YouTube itself stepped in and removed it.
So there are layers of protection in place to try and keep the community a safe and welcoming space for everyone.
Precisely. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about what it's like to be on the other side. If you're a creator and you want to cultivate your own YouTube community, where do you even begin?
That's what I'm really curious about. I can see how this could be a game changer for creators who really want to nurture a dedicated fan base. So how does a creator even get this feature?
First, a little reality check. Not all creators have access to YouTube communities yet. YouTube is still rolling it out gradually, so you might have to wait a bit. But if you do have it, here's how you get started. On the YouTube app, head over to your channel page and tap Go to Community. If it's enabled for your channel, you'll see an option to turn on My Community.
All right, so you flip that switch and boom, you've got a community.
Not quite. Think of it more like opening the doors to a brand new space. You still have to set it up and make it your own. One of the first things you'll want to do is post a welcoming message to your subscribers, letting them know what you envision for the community and encouraging them to join the conversation. That first post sets the tone and helps people understand what your community is all about.
It's like setting up a storefront. You want it to be welcoming and enticing so people actually come in and see what you have to offer.
That's a great analogy. Now, once your community starts to take shape, the next big thing to think about is moderation. You've got a few tools to help you keep your community a positive and safe space for everyone.
Okay, I'm all ears. This moderation piece feels like a huge part of making this feature work for creators. What are the key things they need to know?
One tool we've already touched on is the ability to set a minimum subscription time. You can decide how long someone needs to be subscribed to your channel before they can post in your community. Some creators set this to a few weeks or even months, especially if they have a large and potentially rowdy fan base. It's a way to ensure that the people participating are truly invested. in your content and community.
Yeah, it's like a vetting process, right? Making sure the people who have just stumbled upon your channel can't immediately jump in and stir up trouble.
Exactly. And on top of that, you can always hide specific users entirely if they repeatedly violate your community guidelines. This blocks them from posting in your community. And it applies to your entire channel, not just the community section.
Wow, so that's not a decision to be taken lightly. That's essentially saying you're not welcome in my online space at all.
It is a powerful tool, and it's important to use it judiciously, but it can be necessary to protect the integrity of your community and ensure that everyone feels safe and respected.
Makes sense. It's like any community, online or offline, there need to be some ground rules to prevent things from getting out of control.
Absolutely. Now, there are a few different levels of post-review creators can choose from. The first is none. And as the name suggests, this means absolutely no review. Any post goes live instantly.
Okay, I can see that working for small, close-knit communities where everyone pretty much knows each other. But for larger channels, that seems like a recipe for disaster. What are the other options?
If you want a bit more oversight, without having to review every single post manually, there's the basic setting. With this option, YouTube's AI will flag potentially inappropriate content and bring it to your attention for review. It's like having a digital assistant sifting through the posts and highlighting anything that might need a second look.
Okay, so it's not full-on automation, but it does give you an extra layer of protection. What about creators who want total control over what appears in their community?
For those creators, there's the hold all option. This means every single post needs your manual approval before it goes live in your community. This gives you the ability to carefully curate the conversation and ensure that every post aligns with your community guidelines.
I imagine this is pretty time-consuming, but it does offer the ultimate peace of mind. So you've got a thriving community, you've set your moderation levels, and things are running smoothly. But what if, for whatever reason, you need to take a break from managing the community? Can you turn it off?
You absolutely can, and it's not a permanent decision either. You can simply pause your community if you need a break. In your YouTube Studio settings, you can toggle the community feature off. Existing posts won't be deleted, just hidden, until you turn the community back on.
That's a relief. So it's more like hitting the pause button than the delete button. You're not losing all those valuable community interactions. They're just temporarily out of sight.
Exactly. It's all about giving creators the flexibility and control they need to manage their community effectively.
Well, I'm already feeling a lot more informed about how YouTube communities work, both from a viewer's perspective and a creator's. We've covered a lot of ground here.
Welcome back.
So we talked about all the nuts and bolts of YouTube communities. You know how to use them, how to moderate them. But I think it's time to kind of zoom out and look at the bigger picture here.
Yeah, I think one of the most fascinating aspects of communities is how they're blurring the lines between content creation and community engagement. It's no longer this one-way street where creators upload videos and viewers passively consume them.
Yeah, it feels like it's shifting the power dynamic a bit, where viewers have more agency to shape the conversation, share their own ideas, and directly influence the content that they want to see.
Exactly. Creators can use polls to gauge interest in different video topics, get real-time feedback on their ideas, and even co-create content with their community. It's a level of collaboration that we haven't really seen before on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm already seeing creators use this to their advantage. Like they're posting behind-the-scenes snippets, asking for feedback on video edits, even hosting mini Q&As directly within their communities. It's like having this direct line to their most dedicated fans.
And for viewers, it's a chance to feel more connected to the creators they love. It's like being invited into their creative process and having a voice in shaping the content that they produce. It's a whole new level of fandom.
Yeah, I can even imagine it leading to more niche communities forming around, specific interests or subgenres within a creator's content.
Absolutely. It allows for these smaller, more focused conversations to happen outside of the noise of the main comment section. It's like having different rooms in a virtual house, each dedicated to a specific topic or theme.
So it's not just about fostering this general sense of community around a creator. It's about facilitating these more nuanced and focused discussions within that community.
Exactly. Now, while all this sounds incredibly positive, I think it's important to acknowledge that YouTube communities aren't without their potential downsides.
Right, I was just thinking about that. Anytime you introduce a new platform for communication, especially on this scale, there's always that risk of things going sideways.
Exactly. We've already touched on the moderation tools available to creators, but it's still a constant battle against spam negativity and even harassment.
Yeah, I can see how it would be challenging for creators, especially those with massive followings, to keep a close eye on everything that's happening within their community?
It's a huge responsibility, and it requires a proactive approach to setting clear community guidelines and consistently enforcing them. It's not a set it and forget it kind of feature.
Right, and it's not just on the creators either. Viewers have a responsibility to report inappropriate content, call out bad behavior, and generally contribute to a positive and respectful community atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a shared responsibility.
Yeah.
We all have a role to play in shaping the culture of these online spaces.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point to emphasize. YouTube communities can be this incredible tool for connection and creativity, but it takes this collective effort to ensure that they remain safe and inclusive spaces for everyone.
Couldn't agree more. It's a bit like tending a garden. You need to nurture it, weed out the negativity, and create the right conditions for healthy growth.
And with that beautiful analogy, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into YouTube communities. We've covered a lot of ground, from the basic functionalities to the potential impact this feature could have on the entire YouTube ecosystem.
Indeed. We've explored how communities work, the possibilities they offer, and the challenges they present. And now I'd like to leave you with a thought-provoking question to consider.
Oh, I'm always up for a good mental challenge. What you got for us?
As you venture into the world of YouTube communities, whether as participant or a creator, ask yourself, what kind of community do you want to be a part of? What values do you want to see reflected? What kind of conversations do you want to engage in?
That's a great question. It's a reminder that we have a choice in shaping these online spaces. It's not just about passively consuming, it's about actively participating and contributing to the kind of community that we want to see thrive.
Precisely. The future of YouTube communities is, in many ways, in our hands.
And on that note, I want to thank you for joining us on this journey. It's been a pleasure exploring this new feature with you and uncovering its potential.
Yeah, it really has been an insightful deep dive. And to all of you out there listening, we hope you're feeling as energized as I am about the possibilities of YouTube communities.
It's been fascinating exploring this with you, and it really does feel like we're just scratching the surface. You know, who knows what innovations or new ways of using communities will emerge in the coming months and years. Yeah, that's the exciting part. It's still early days. So we have a chance to be part of shaping this new landscape on YouTube, whether you're a creator looking to build deeper connections with your audience or a viewer who wants to engage more meaningfully with the content you love. There's a place for you in this evolving world of YouTube communities.
Absolutely. So go explore, experiment, and see what kind of connections you can forge in this exciting new space.
We've reached the end of our deep dive, but the conversation doesn't have to stop here. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you used YouTube communities? What are your experiences? Are you excited about the potential, or do you have concerns? Share your insights, and let's continue the conversation.
And until next time, keep diving deep into the fascinating world of online communities. There's always something new to discover and explore.
That's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Check out the show notes for more details, including the links to the YouTube help articles and anything else discussed on the episode. This has been a DHYT production.